It's 6:15 in the morning. We're on our way to Pellman, Alabama for another flip card show. We've never done this show, so this will be the first time that we're headed to Alabama. We'll give you a complete overview today of the show, and stay tuned.
Coming up on the famous Talladega Speedway here.
Stands.
Turn left.
We'll stop and get us some breakfast.
In 400 feet, turn left, then turn left on Kelly Creek Road.
As you can see, this is the big change we've made. I messed up, and I'll explain to you when I do the explanation or overview of the show, but the $15 slab box is a big change for us this year, or at the end of this year, and then going into next year. I had my table sizes mixed up. Really nice stuff. Really nice. I like the display. It's about 9:15. It's about 45 minutes before it even starts. This is our setup. Again, I messed up this time. Look what I found. Guess how much? Our buy price is $15. Factory sealed. $10. Yeah. Very happy. So I've already made my first purchase today. Our buy price on this is $15. We picked this one up for $10. Of course, you guys know it has the Bo Jackson shoulder pad card in there. It'll start in 5 minutes. This is why I like the flip shows. It's 5 minutes before it starts. The crowd's already outside. It's just a good show. It's about noon, and the show is still very crowded. Break here and go check out the food trucks. Let Dawn know what they have. About 2 o'clock, and see, it's still pretty good crowd even at 2 o'clock. So the show ends in 2 hours. We are headed home. It was a great show. We stayed all the way till 4 o'clock till it ended. We're pretty busy the entire show, all the way back. So headed back to Georgia now, back home. It'll be an hour and a half, 2 hours before we get home, probably 2 hours. I'll give you a full review of this show when we get back to Marietta. We'll talk to you then. Okay guys, we'll wrap this up. If you guys follow these show reviews on a regular basis, you know we try to do it from 2 different perspectives. Number one, if you're a dealer thinking about setting up at this show, what we can share with you that may be valuable for you, as well as if you're planning on attending. Sometimes we do these reviews when we just attend. Most of the time we're setting up as dealers, but not always. If you're planning on attending this show, I can tell you the vibe was great. A lot of families, a lot of excitement. I can't recommend it highly enough. They just run a really good show, and I think you'll find anything you want at this particular show. For us, thankfully, we got home in time to catch the final game, Game 7 of the World Series, which was one of the best World Series I can remember in a long, long time. I was kind of pulling for the Blue Jays. I really didn't have a dog in the hunt, really didn't care. I just wanted it to go to 7 games, and it did. But I do have to shout out to Will Smith. Had a phenomenal World Series, just won the game for the Dodgers, that huge home run. And he's a Kentucky kid. That's my home state, so I just got to shout him out. And he's a World Series champion for sure. You can see all the World Series rings. This kid's got 6 rings already. So kind of happy for him, even though I really kind of wish Toronto had won. Before I get into the recap, I just need to take a minute and talk about this. A lot of buzz this week in the hobby about sports cards are only for rich people now, and just a lot of negativity out there based upon the Upper Deck president making similar type statements, talking about trading cards are part of the new gambling economy. And just let me say right up front, I agree. I understand why a lot of people see it from that perspective, and I don't argue with any of that. It's kind of maddening because you see a lot of 20-something-year-olds at different shows running around. They don't know the game. They don't even know the rules of the game. All they know is this number to 199 should make me X amount of profit. And it has become a big gambling type mentality. That's why at these shows, I love to see kids when they're walking around and they've got their baseball uniforms on because they've just come to a game or getting ready to go to a game. And I always like to have a conversation. What position you play? Do you play today? I want to encourage the activity of playing the game, but I understand where he's coming from. But a lot of shows in this area, especially this one in Pellman, it was collectors. It was sports card collectors. And there's a lot of them out there. And I don't know if we making the conscious decision that that's our primary market and that's who we're focused on. So that's who comes to our tables. But there are collectors out there, a lot of pure collectors, people that, yeah, they will sell and flip to fund their collection. But there's a lot of collectors out there that are growing their personal collection by just making trades and selling a few cards. And they love the sport and they love the game and they love collecting. And that in this part of the country, from what I'm personally seeing, is alive and well. And yes, every show we go to, there's people there that are just flipping. They're sports card dealers that were in it for the money that have now changed over to Pokemon. They're just chasing that dollar. And there's no doubt about that. But a lot of people are getting really concerned and, oh, is it ending? And so on and so forth. And I will tell you, from my perspective and the clients that we have on eBay and every platform we sell on, there's a lot of pure collectors out there that love the sports and want to add to their collection. So it's not something that I'm overly concerned about. Yes, there's a lot more gambling mentality than I'm comfortable with or wish was out there, but the sports car market is alive and well. So let's just recap this Pellman Alabama show real quick. This was one of my favorite shows of this year. We met a lot of great people, great conversations. There was a lot of families in attendance. You saw a lot of mothers bring their sons, a lot of dads bringing their daughters. It was a great atmosphere, which was honestly great for us to see. I would say 60% of the dealers were Pokemon, which it was higher than normal. It's been running about 40 to 50% in most shows. About 60% was Pokemon, but it was not a Pokemon crowd. There were more sports collectors in attendance than people that were looking to add to their Pokemon collection. So just a heads up there. We had great sales of the iconic cards that we always sell at shows. Before the show started, a dealer came up by and bought a couple of cards from us. One was a Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie. It was PSA 9. We had a $300 price tag on it. Last show that was over comps. It may still be. I don't know. I know one sold last week, a 10 for over 5,000, but it was in the showcase to sell, so we let it go. I just didn't want to let it go for less than $300, and it's gone now, but we'll have more. We sold our Ripken Air frame cards that you guys have seen. If you've seen some of our other show recaps where we put the Air card and the black tape card together in a frame, looks really good. We jazz that up and we sell that, and we're under comps on that, but we buy them right and we buy them as often as we can. But we sold the last one of those frames that we have, and of course we're always looking for that card. We sold the bow, score, shoulder pads, baseball bat, the iconic card. We sold a PSA 9 in that. We sold a ton of Bo Jackson cards. I think we sold every Bo Jackson card we brought out of our showcase except one. Sold a lot of Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts played at Alabama. Fan favorite in that part of the country for sure. So any former Alabama players, Auburn players, of course, Bo Jackson played for Auburn. We sold a lot. The $15 slab section that we expanded, as you guys have seen, and I talked about this in our eBay sales and purchases recaps for last month. I got more details, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But it grew a crowd as we hoped, and sales were great. The most number of win-win trades from any show this year by far. A lot of people were coming and they just wanted to get out of specific cards and add some of their personal collections. Good for them, good for us. There was not that many flippers, resellers, or looky-loos at this show. And I love flippers and I love resellers. And I'm glad looky-loos come to the show because they might get interested in really growing a significant hobby for themselves, a significant collection. But the majority of the crowd in this particular show, probably more than any we have been to, were collectors that were wanting to add to their collections. And I love conversations with those people. I love helping them find cards they've been looking for. We sold one Griffey. I can't even remember which card it was, but it was an older gentleman and he had that card and it was like $8. And he said, I am so glad I've been looking for that card. And he had a big smile on his face. And I love that. That is what, for me, what this hobby is really all about. So there was a lot of collectors wanting to add to their collection, a lot of great people. I personally messed up. I talked about earlier in the video. In my mind, for this show, we had an 8-foot table and a 6-foot table reserved. And that's what I planned for. If you saw our setup, you saw none of our dollar boxes were on the table. Our new expanded card that we had in commerce, if you saw that review, was not on the table. We just didn't have the room. We ended up with 2 tables, and I'm not sure if they were 5 or 6 feet. I think they were 6 feet. And in my mind, I had reserved an 8-foot and a 6-foot table, but I realized that's for another flip show that's coming up before the end of the year. So we didn't set it up exactly the way I wanted to. Hopefully the next show will be able to, and you'll kind of see. So with our display section, the slabs were over on kind of to the side. So people were walking by the table, and a lot of times they didn't look down the side. If they didn't look down the side, they didn't see it. So about noon or so, Don got the idea, well, let's take one of the signs we use and put it front facing so people walking down the aisle at least have the opportunity to see the sign. Thankfully, that whole area the whole day had a crowd. So people were walking by and they would look and they would think, well, what are they looking at over here? So we did fine, but I think we'll even do even better the next show. But other than that, we can't recommend this show highly enough. If you're a dealer, think Auburn, Alabama, think Bo Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and so on and so forth. Without question, I think you'll love it. I think you'll love the crowd. If you enjoy this type of content, we hope you'll check out some of our other show reviews. Most we're setting up as a dealer, but not always. Some it's just shows that we have attended, but you can see we have a whole playlist of sports card show reviews here on our channel on YouTube. The Myrtle Beach show, a couple shows in Kentucky, Ohio. Most are in Georgia, but really from all over the country. So we hope you'll get value from that. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you on the next video. We'll be doing a rip. Tuesday night, we do a wax pack rip around UK basketball games. We'll give away a free card, a former UK player that's playing in the NBA every week. We have a grand prize that you can win also during March Madness. You can find out more about that also on this channel. We have a playlist. It's called Guaranteed Profits with Wax. You can see we've got several videos here. This one right here will tell you about the contest, how you can enter if you'd like to do that. Regardless, guys, we appreciate it. We hope you got value. We'll do our next rip Tuesday night, Kentucky plays, and hope to see you on that video. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on the next one.